Hi. I need to vent about something. I don't really know why I'm doing it like this. I'm not a YouTuber. I have no followers. I'm a very average, typical gal. But I need to get something off my chest. And so I guess I'm ranting like I would to a friend to you if you're watching. I doubt anyone's watching this, and that's not why I'm doing it. I just need to... I need to get this out. And if you, for some reason, stumble upon this, even though I have no followers, I don't film content, I'm not a content creator, and that's not my plan. Maybe this will help you, you know? I don't know, maybe listening to me rant about this kind of situation will help you in some kind of way, and I guess I'm doing that. Anyway, enough about that. I'm moving. I'm nearly 25 years old. I'm moving into my parents' house. And that's a lot. I've been having these thoughts about how specifically, like, I wanted to have my 25th birthday, you know, since I was 16 or something. I've always said that I wanted my 25th birthday to be just your typical mid-20s dinner party. And I wanted to have a table big enough to sit everyone that I love at this one table to have dinner with me on my 25th birthday. And that, you know, included having a space to put that in, somewhere where I lived, where I created. And for the last 4 or so years, I've had this space, you know. I've had, you know, this apartment that I'm currently in that you don't know about, but I've had this space and it's been amazing and I love it. I love this space. Unfortunately, circumstances have pushed me to move into my parents' house, and I'll be honest, like, I don't... It's not necessary for me to do this, but it's the best move for me. But it's just not... It's absolutely not what I had in mind, and I think I'm really struggling to come to terms with the fact that this is okay. It's okay to live with your parents, you know. I'm in Australia, Western Australia specifically, and you've probably heard, you know, a lot. I wanted to swear just then, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. We're in a cost of living crisis. I'm also studying a master's. I'm writing a thesis, and, you know, that's really, really important to me. But having my own space and having my own place to go and retreat is also really important to me. And I feel like I'm taking a step backwards. And I know that that's probably really normal. You hear, you know, TED Talks and you read these books and you're surrounded by these people who are in really similar circumstances to you, but I can't really comprehend how that's done, you know? This isn't what I had in mind, you know? I was supposed to have this dinner party on my 25th birthday, but instead I'm going to be at my parents' house. Anyway, this isn't really what the video was supposed to be about. What I wanted to talk about, actually, was the act of moving and how, like, the really strong realization that I've come to is that material items are such a burden. And this is not news to anyone. I know that minimalism had its boom and people live by minimalistic philosophies, and it really helps some people. I've never ever been a minimalist, but I acknowledge that I was fortunate enough to have this space, to have this living situation where I didn't have to worry about being a minimalist. You know, I didn't have to move every 3 months. I was stable, and I could have my material possessions out in front of me and not look at them and see, okay, so this is how many boxes I'm going to need to pack this stuff away. Oh, I feel like I want to cry. But yeah, over the last couple of weeks, what my brain has been full of is just like, how many things can I fit into my car? I have this tiny sports car, right? Which I pay for myself. I don't know why that was necessary to say, but to kind of paint the picture of me, I guess that's whatever. That's not important. Material items are my burden, and they absolutely hold you back. If I had just kept the things that I needed, I would be able to move in an instant. But I don't want to feel like I have to be able to move in an instant. I love my material possessions, and if you know me, you know that I'm pretty good at getting rid of things. Every few months I will go through my closet and donate things to op shops, and if it doesn't hold some sentimental value, or if I don't use it and I think that somebody else could get more use out of it, then I will just get rid of it. I will donate it. I never chuck anything in landfill. I'm very environmentally conscious in that way. And yet, I still have all this stuff. And everything that I own, everything that fit in this apartment is currently in a spare room at my parents' house. And I walk in there and there's just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items. Lots of them being like books, records, clothes, knickknacks, knickknacks that I had around in my apartment. And now they're all packed in bags. And I'm just looking at it all going, I could just throw all of this away. Like, I could just get rid of all this stuff. If I didn't look at any of it and you got rid of it, I wouldn't bat an eye. But as soon as I go into one of those bags, I'd see something and be like, oh, obviously I can't get rid of that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw all of my stuff away because I like stuff. I like tangible things that make me feel grounded to this earth. I like being able to hold a record in my hand and have a physical copy of a book. I'm very materialistic in that way, where I need tangible items. And they bring a lot of comfort as well. They bring a lot of comfort in my space. And if I didn't have this stuff, then a space for myself would just be a desk and a bed and nothing else. My stuff is how I show who I am. Like, if I invite somebody over to my house, my stuff is what shows other people the type of person that I am. And so I guess a lot of my identity is wrapped in the possessions that I choose to keep. No, I don't know. And then having to move it, it's just, I can't even describe what it feels like. My supervisor told me that people associate trauma with moving, that it's like one of the most traumatic things that you can go through. And I'm not feeling trauma right now. I'm going to a place where I'm comfortable. I know I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to save money, and I'm going to be able to focus on my thesis, which is really good. And I want to do this. Don't get me wrong, I want to do this. it's just so stressful. And it's made me consider, should I be living by a minimalist philosophy? Does this feeling outweigh the comfort that I associate with my material items? Because that's what they are, you know. That's another thing, is it's annoying getting rid of stuff, because you could have something that's completely useless that you do not look at, but then you look at it once and it has so much sentimental value, and you cannot get rid of it, and you also can't use it. So you just have to move it around with you wherever you go. And that is a burden. That is a burden. I will die by this hill. Material items are my largest burden. And I will probably never act on it. I will take them with me wherever I go. But hopefully, you know, within the next 10 to 30 years of my life, I scale down and I just have the things that I really need and that I really love. Anyway, thank you for going along with that. Again, I'm not a content creator. I don't know why I'm posting this on YouTube. I just needed to say those things because I feel like at the moment I'm very isolated in this experience, and if somebody else out there is going through a similar thing and is finding it hard to articulate what you're going through, I hope that maybe hearing somebody else talk about it will help. And at the very least, I put this out there. No one watches it, but then I feel a sense of relief that it's out there in the world and not just sitting in my brain. I'm also sick. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.